disturbing about Harry Potter. This is a setting where evil wizards and dark magic are apparently so common that they require a 7-year-long mandatory class to defend against them. You really can't help but think that the wizarding world really needs to get its act together. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2. This is it. The end. The final movie. Thank God. So the movie opens up basically where they left off. There's a bunch of little flashes of Voldemort finding the Elder Wand and being, whoa. After Voldemort finds the Elder Wand, they're back at the cabin and Harry's all, Voldemort has the Elder Wand, oh my god. So they go and they talk to some goblin about it, and the goblin, because they think that the goblin can help them find the Horcrux. So the goblin tells them, yeah, there's a Horcrux in Bellatrix Lestrange's vault. I'll bring you to that vault if you give me the sword of Godric Gryffindor. Considering that this is a sword that appears to anyone that needs it, I can't help but think that the goblin did not think this price through. The goblin takes him to the bank. Hermione is disguised as Bellatrix. They go to the bank and they go through the vaults. There's a dragon there. They end up capturing the Horcrux, and then they ride the dragon out of the bank. You heard that right. They ride the dragon out of the bank. Blood and ashes. That is awesome. And they leave. So then they jump off the dragon into the water. And Harry has all these visions of Voldemort killing people, which is lovely. And then the sword disappears from the goblin's hand. I don't want to say I told you so. So our heroes decide that they need to go to Hogwarts because Harry sees visions of Voldemort that show that the next Horcrux is in Hogwarts. So they go to Hogsmeade, and there they meet Aberforth, or Aberdorf, or Aberlicious, or whatever his name is. He's Dumbledore's brother. Yay, Dumbledore has a brother. So Aberforth shows them a secret passage, and Neville comes against them. They go to the Hogwarts, and Harry confronts Snape, and Snape runs away like a scared little girl. Then they're preparing for battle. The battle scene comprises most of this movie. About 70% of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 is just the war scene. It's like the First Lord's fury of Harry Potter movies. The Voldemort and the Death Eaters are all coming to attack Hogwarts. The students are all preparing. And then McGonagall shows up and she casts this spell, and all these statues come to life, like march out, ready to fight. What right does this movie have to be so awesome? Death Eaters show up. They're all fighting, throwing spells at people. Magic! Ron and Hermione go to the Chamber of Secrets and they grab a Basilisk Fang. They use that to destroy the Horcrux they got from Bellatrix's vault. Meanwhile, Harry, he goes to the Room of Requirement and he gets the next Horcrux. Only Malfoy is there. And he's like, give me my wand back. And Harry's like, frack off. Then a bunch of fire monsters come out. And everyone's running away from the fire monsters, and one of Malfoy's friends gets eaten by the fire monsters. And then Harry and Ron and Hermione are flying off, and then Harry decides to save Malfoy because Voldemort calls Snape over to him, and he kills Snape because he thinks that Snape is the owner of the Elder Wand, or something. It's all nonsensical. The wand lore is very, very poorly thought out. It just doesn't make much sense. Voldemort has all the Death Eaters temporarily retreat, and says that Harry must meet him in the forest for their final showdown. So Harry goes in, and he sees all the dead, including Lupin and Tonks, who in this version we actually see the camera actually lingers on them for a couple seconds, as opposed to the book where it's basically like, oh yeah, Lupin and Tonks are dead, by the way, bye. One sentence is all we get from your characters. For shame, Rowling, for shame. Harry uses the pensieve to look into Snape's memories, and he finds out, surprise! Snape was a good guy the whole time. Dumbledore told Snape to kill him because Snape was in love with Harry's mom. So, Snape's whole evilness towards Harry throughout the whole, oh, this was just a big, creepy obsession with Harry's mother. This movie just became slightly more disturbing. Harry goes into the forest, and he opens up that snitch he got in the last movie, and it turns out that it has the Stone of Resurrection in it. Yeah, the one Deathly Hallows. And he gets to see his parents, and he sees Sirius Black, and he sees Remus Lupin. And Lupin tells him, "You will always be with you here." And I think he points to Harry's lung. So they're in Harry's lung. Voldemort kills him. But Harry dies, but he doesn't die. Instead, he finds himself in a big white place, and let me tell you, that flash of white. We're in a dark theater. The movie's been pretty dark so far. That flash of light hurts the eyes. It's very painful. Very painful. Harry sees Smeagol for some reason. Turns out Voldemort's soul was Smeagol. I don't know. And he sees a hallucination of Dumbledore who gives him a bunch of wise words, and Harry comes back to life, but he pretends to stay dead, so Voldemort parades Harry out in front of everyone, and he's like, yeah, who killed Harry Potter? This guy did. This guy did right here. Oh yeah, I'm so awesome. And then Neville's like, you can't kill Harry Potter. He'll always be with us right here. And I believe he points to his pancreas. And then Harry jumps up and turns out to be alive, and all the Death Eaters like, I'm out of here. Harry defeats Voldemort, blah blah blah. 19 years later, Harry has grown into Lazard Valeth from the Valkyrie Profile series. No, wait, sorry. He marries Jenny and has 2 beautiful children. It's all very happy. It's lovely. Anyway, so that's Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. It's obviously I left out a lot of stuff. Yes, the scene where Neville kills Nagini is in it. Obviously, that's one of the best scenes of the book. And yes, Molly Weasley versus Bellatrix is there. I waited the whole movie waiting for that line. You know what I'm talking about. Which one I'm talking about. For like the 2 of you who have never read the books, watch the movie, you'll know which one I'm talking about. So, it does rearrange a lot of stuff from the books. Like, there's a lot of the order is changed around a bit, but I think most part it works. Although there are a couple unresolved plot holes. We never really do find out what happened. We never really do find out everything about Dumbledore's past, and Wormtail seems to vanish off the face of the planet. Yeah. Really though, I've been bored of Harry Potter for the past few years. It just, after the last book, I was like, man. So, like, even the last few movies, I was actually kind of bored watching them, but this movie I wasn't bored, so I was actually pretty engaged in it. So I guess it gets a recommendation from me. But enough of that. Harry Potter is finally over. We are finally free of Harry Potter. No more will we be plagued by the constant releasings of new Harry Potters. We are free! Free to enjoy ourselves and engage in other stories for once. you still doing here, Galler?